All right, welcome back. Now, some of you may have noticed I took a brief break away from the office, a much needed break away from this particular content, and I feel better. I feel much better. And I just wanted to, I understand that there are some people who pretend to like you. I fully understand there's some people who pretend to support you for whatever reason. And all along, they're preying on you to fail in some type of way. I fully understand that. I'm not a naive person. Since I've been here on YouTube, I've had people support me and then turn around, stab me in the back. And experiences like that have indeed toughened me. It has hardened me. But I'm definitely not a naive person. That said, I want to send a big, huge, massive shout out to all of my supporters. Y'all are all I have. Y'all are my lifeline. Seriously. You have no idea, and I cannot put it into words. As much as I babble, I cannot put into words how much my supporters help me. Y'all literally saved my life. Shout out to the members and all of you who may have become a member and you were only a member for a month. Some of you are on and off. You'll be a member for 2 months, 3 months, then you won't be a member. Big shout out to all of you. You don't ever have to become a member for even 1 month. So if anyone decides to become a member and then you're no longer a member, you didn't have to do that. So big shout out to you and thank you for all the support, most definitely. Shout out to anybody who's ever sent a super chat. I miss a number of PayPal donations. Big shout out and thank you to all of you who support me, because you don't have to. You all know I offer this medicine for free. I have my member section here on YouTube. That's more for, my personal side. When I want to kick back and I don't feel like producing official content type of content for the channel. So y'all are like my therapy, my mental therapy, and I'm very grateful. And so big shout out to all of you, and I thank you kindly. And I have a very crazy story that I want to deal with tonight, at least in my opinion. Many of you recognize the phrase used, "one nation under dog." Did y'all know there's actually like a movie titled "One Nation Under Dog"? I did not know this. I'm telling you, it's a documentary. It's an hour and 13 minutes long. I swear, I thought this phrase was just something that Animal on Control made up. But no. And just a reminder, you can never put anything past these people. Okay? Why did I choose this title, "One Nation Under Dog"? It is because everybody, I repeat, everybody in society is placed beneath dogs. No matter what you do or what position you hold, nobody has authority over dogs in this land. And I say that in response to this recent story that surfaced. Yet another horrible story where this cop, just listen to this. I'll just let y'all listen to it.
Former McNairy County Sheriff's deputy in West Tennessee is charged with animal cruelty tonight, accused of killing 7 dogs while responding to a call. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says on November 4th, Connor Bracken responded to a call requesting to check on some dogs at a home in Bethel Springs, Tennessee. That's about 2 hours due east of Memphis. Officials say that once at the scene, Bracken began shooting at the dogs, killing 7 of them. Days later, a warrant was issued for his arrest. Bracken turned himself in. He is currently out on bond.
Now, doesn't that sound strange? Listen to the details of that story. Are you serious? He was there for a welfare check and just
killing,
showed up and started firing on these dogs? I mean, that is one of the most ridiculous scenarios, ridiculous stories I've ever heard. This is a different media outlet who covered the same story. Let's hope they give us more details than that.
At 6, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is on the case after several dogs were shot dead. The animal's owners is telling us the dogs were found dead after a deputy responded to an animal abuse call. WRAG's Mike Sirianni has more from the
Somebody placed an animal abuse call, okay?
Emotional owner.
I don't care what you do. I don't care if you give me $10, if you give me $10 million. You cannot replace my dogs.
Kevin Dismuke does not want to.
Oh, yes, you can replace these dogs. You can get them any and everywhere. So don't start with that. Don't tell me about, oh, but they're special. You've never communicated with them using language. You have no idea about their personality. Ain't nothing special about these parasites.
It's my dogs.
Kevin Dismuke does not want to appear on camera, but his voice alone tells the tragedy he found inside this RV November 4th. One dead dog just inside the front door.
Before I could step in the door and turn the light on, I stepped on him. He was laying right there at the door.
Okay. So he walked into his trailer. There were no lights on. And before he could turn the light on, he stepped on one of his dead dogs. Cop came through and delivered.
Before I could step in the door and turn the light on, I stepped on him. He was laying right there at the door.
But Dismuke did not hear his other dogs.
I found our old dog, Gator, laying between the beds. I'm like, I ain't heard Jasmine. I ain't heard Max. So I stepped back inside the trailer, and I find Jasmine laying back there by the bathroom door. They're all dead, all but Max. He's hid under the bed.
7 dogs in all dead, according to Dismuke. A neighbor told him a McNairy County deputy was responsible.
They were told that the property was abandoned and the dogs were malnourished.
Okay. The call was that the property had been abandoned and the dogs were malnourished. Why would there be a call like that made? What were you doing, sir?
I've got the veterinary paperwork in my truck from 3 weeks ago. They all had a clean bill of health on them.
According to the sheriff.
Okay. But nobody should make calls like that if you're being a responsible dog owner. I hate the way they do this. The way they talk as if everybody else is crazy except for them. As if there was no reason to call the police. These people who call the cops are not crazy, but that's their first play. They immediately project people as crazy.
I've got the veterinary paperwork in my truck from 3 weeks ago. They all had a clean bill of health on them.
According to the sheriff's office narrative, McNairy County Deputy Connor Bracken reported dogs in 2 trailers that appeared to be in extremely poor health, some barely able to walk, without food or water, and 1 dog already deceased. The narrative states attempts were made to find the owners and find homes for the dogs, and a neighbor came and took one of the dogs, quote, before I was cleared to put down the remaining animals safely by my supervisor, end quote.
Okay. He said that he was cleared to put these dogs down. It wasn't just some random idea that he thought of. He got permission. He got confirmation to put these things down. Wow, ridiculous. This information should be shared in every report about the story. If you leave this information out, you may as well be a liar. You basically are a liar. But that's what several media outlets are doing. Sharing this story without sharing that. Wow. Let's continue.
Around 2:32.
Oh, sorry about that.
Took one of the dogs, quote, before I was cleared to put down the remaining animals safely by my supervisor, end quote. Around 2:30 Tuesday, several agents with the TBI arrived. They've sealed off this area now, designating it a crime scene as they begin to look into exactly what happened.
Explain to me why he done what he done. That's the $1 million question.
No. Where were you? You see how they feel like they are not responsible for anything? There's no accountability at all. Like as if they're not responsible for containing their dogs, keeping their dogs under control. It's always pointing their finger at whoever responded to their own misconduct. Y'all end up causing massive disruptions and becoming a lethal threat in the community. And as soon as somebody defend themselves or neutralize the threat, here y'all come talking about what you do to my dog. If y'all don't get out of here with that, get out of here with that.
For your news leader in McNairy County, Mike Suriani, WREG News Channel 3.
Now, I can tell you we attempted numerous times to reach Sheriff Guy Buck, but with no success. No charges have been announced, but we'll stay on the case and try to figure out exactly what.
Shame, shame, shame on all of you. Do y'all know this cop? He resigned because of this. Can you believe that? All because of dead dogs. Like literally, there's probably been 100 chickens killed since I've been live. And dogs are no different. In fact, they're beneath chickens. They're beneath cows. And this man was clearly so off-put by this situation, he resigned. Only 24 years old. 24-year-old deputy reportedly released one of the dogs to the complainant. However, for reasons that are still under investigation, authorities said Bracken fired his duty weapon, shooting and killing 7 dogs on the property. They just said he got clearance. You know, it sounds like he thought the dogs were like sickly, starving, so he put them down to sort of put them out of their misery. Sir, you, the owner, why would you keep the dogs in such condition that cops would get that type of impression? And it wasn't just the cop. It was also whoever called the cops. See, nobody is dealing with that at all. It's all viewed and packaged as a case of a dog hater. And man, this is almost criminal if you ask me. The way they slapped this case together and just said, oh, this is, and like, you can tell that he was under pressure. Or else, why would he resign? Why would you resign? But look at this. Animal cruelty, according to 24-year-old Bracken is charged. Look at this. 24-year-old Connor Bracken is charged with 7 counts of aggravated cruelty to animals and 8 counts of reckless endangerment. This is after he got permission to put the dogs down. This is ridiculous, man. Some worthless dogs suddenly, that fast, changed this man's whole entire life. Even if you're a cop, you're beneath dogs. This is one nation under dog. For real, for real. The dogs were reportedly the subjects of an animal welfare concern call made on November 4th. He was responding to that call. State agency was called, a warrant issued. This is ridiculous. A warrant issued for Bracken's arrest on Tuesday. He reportedly turned himself in and has since been released from the county jail. The sheriff's office says Bracken was employed 2 days shy of a month in total before his termination. So, excuse me, pardon me, he was terminated. Talk about injustice. For some worthless dogs. Terminated. Followed instructions. What in the world is this? This is the New World Order, people. This is a part of the new world. Everybody beneath dogs. No questions asked. Like, really? Over some dogs? Unbelievable. So, listen, stories like this, cases like this, really makes me scratch my head and wonder why there's not more police officers who are dog culture critics. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a number of police officers and former police officers. Many of you have seen their comments. They've left them on several videos in the comment section to several of my videos. But we all see that they don't take a public stance against these things. The most they'll do is leave an anonymous comment or a post on YouTube, because there's just so much pressure from society for all citizens to be dog worshipers. That's not going to fly in this part of YouTube. I so feel safe here in this corner of YouTube. This movement was so necessary. So make no mistake about it. One nation underdog. They have put dogs above us. They put dogs above us. Nobody's life should be ruined like that over a dog. I don't care how long he's been working for the company. This is a worthless mutt. How often do animals get hit and left on the side of the road? Nobody cares. How many chickens and cows and farm animals getting slaughtered? Like I said, as I speak, there's been several of them slaughtered. So this dog mania is all based on this belief that dogs are above other natural animals and that they are the equivalent of human beings, essentially. No. And this is such an injustice. And it's too bad that we are not in a position where a person like this could get instant support. They'll have an instant safety net. You get fired, they should be able to have a support base. Rely on the dog culture critics for a few months' rent or whatever to help them get back on their feet. You see, you notice how the people who actually deserve support never get it. And it's the people who are always trying to con the public who get all of the financial support and otherwise, publicity and otherwise. You got all these scam GoFundMes, but none for a person like this, fired for shooting dogs after getting his permission. Even if he didn't get permission, man, if he just decided himself, look, these dogs are sickly, they're disease ridden, it's best to put them down, put them out their misery. You don't fire nobody over that. Anybody who thinks that's justified, you need help. I mean, this humanizing of dogs has gone way too far. It's overboard. I mean, think about it. Not even cops are off limits. Even police officers, you can get it too. Everybody is beneath dogs in this country. And it's just completely out of control. Last but not least, I'm sick of seeing our youth attacked by these mutants. This is just unacceptable. And we don't get nothing from these so-called experts but more lies, excuses, and blaming the victims. Story surfaced a few days ago, 3 days ago, where these dogs, 2 pit bulls, saw a playground with, of course, kids inside of it, and you already know what they did. Made a beeline for the playground. These mutants bust into the playground. Unprovoked as always. Look at it. Footage shows the moment when 2 pit bulls savagely attacked children inside a playground. A fun day turned into a devastating nightmare when one kid was yanked off a slide by the savage beast as it devoured the child's leg. They got images here, they're edited out, but look at this. This was one of those like enclosed playgrounds, next level playground. It's not just an area, out in the great outdoors. Now, the thing is, these so-called experts will say in scenarios like this, those dogs were provoked. Oh, the youngster did something to provoke them. Look at that. Of course they broke into the playground and launched unprovoked attacks. The dogs themselves are CHILD predators. That's what they are. And it's ridiculous. These things done hopped on top of the slide, launching attacks, mauling this 12-year. It was a 12-year-old and an 11-year-old under attack. and I don't think these were the actual dogs. No, these are not the actual dogs. Horror footage shows 2 rampaging pit bulls, look at that, rushing inside a playground before attacking the children as bystanders scream at the top of their voices. There you go, experts. That's a description of an unprovoked attack. I have to always point that out because these so-called experts clearly don't know. They cannot decipher what's provoked and unprovoked. A 12-year-old girl and a boy, 11 years old, were seen desperately trying to protect themselves from the dogs, sitting on a climbing frame in the playground in Brazil. One of the dogs can be seen clamping its razor-sharp jaws around the boy's legs. Listen to how they describing it. Kind of strange. As if they're getting off on it. They think it's, oh, what a story, huh? This is crazy. Despite trying to shake the dog off, child is unable to do so, and he slides off the climbing frame with its jaws still chomping down on the screaming boy's leg. He desperately tries to fight it off, but the weight of the dog is too much, and he falls to the ground where the dog continues attacking him. After surviving some 10 seconds of the ordeal, he's finally able to free his leg, but the dog immediately bites down on one of his arms. This is what I'm saying, man. These deranged so-called behaviorists, trainers, veterinarians, and whatnot, claiming that these dogs are being provoked. Slap yourself. And it's just one scenario, man. You literally never find dogs being provoked when there's victims this young. You just never see it. One of the adults, listen to this. One of the adults tried to beat the dog with a stick, but the stick broke. Oh my goodness. It's bad enough you're grabbing a stick and using the stick, but then that worthless stick breaks. Perfect. Right? Perfect. Told you, people are never prepared. And I'm not trying to come down too hard on them, but it's time to be prepared now. If I'm not mistaken, dog attacks are still worse than they've ever been. There needs to be a awareness campaign. Where is the awareness campaign? Another criminal act on part of this guy. With all these spikes that we've had to deal with, 2013, the spike of 2020, and even in the subsequent years, there should have been multiple awareness campaigns for the whole entire country. These things should be, at what point do we start to deal with these things as if they are the problem that they present themselves to be? At what point? As things get worse, these people give dogs and their owners more and more freedom. That's a recipe for disaster, a recipe for chaos. We see what's happening. We see where it's headed. And it's a shame. It's too bad. But we're left to fend for ourselves. It is one nation under dog, people. We're on our own. And like I said, I really don't like for us to be out here unarmed. Please carry something. I don't care where you go. Even if you're going inside of a store. Okay? If I'm not mistaken, at least BB guns are not illegal. They're not illegal. They're legal. You better carry them around. Look, it's up to you if you want to take the chance on going inside of a department store, just keep in mind, several people get attacked in the parking lot, in that Walmart parking lot, that Kroger parking lot. Soon as they step outside their car. I've shared several attack cases where these dumbnuts literally jumped out the window of a moving vehicle. Not only that, as many of you know, several people have been attacked inside of these department stores. You're not safe inside of there. These nutters bring those dogs inside these department stores, and those dogs attack people in those department stores. And aside from that, even if nobody's brought no dog inside the store, you might just get one to just charge in there. Now, granted, it may be unlikely. It may be something that rarely happens. Who cares? All it takes is for you to be lacking once. You understand that? All it takes is for you to forget to be on point once, and you're permanently mutilated, permanently deformed. These injuries are forever. So the victims can tell you better than I can. We should do any and everything we possibly can to keep ourselves safe, and especially if you got a family, man. That goes without saying. I'm as serious as I am, and I don't even have a family. It's just me I'm taking care of and protecting. But these people are buck wild for whatever reason. It's the wild, wild west when it comes to dog culture. They are giving them carte blanche. They can run amok, and they have empowered them. The laws and everything else have empowered them and given them the right to be lethal threats with no license. Now we all know this. This is a population who have been given rights of like military, of like National Guards or something. They can possess lethal threats, lethal weapons, and these dumb things got a brain of their own. We left to fend for ourselves. Okay? I want more stories and videos shared with me where a worthless mutt parasite tried to attack you, tried to attack your family, and you handled your business. I'm very much looking forward to videos and stories like that. Good luck to you all. And big shout out to all of you able to join me on this live stream. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.